So how many of you are coming first time? Okay. Others are quite regular. Okay. ठीक है वो आ जाएगा वो स्क्रॉल कर लूँगा तो भी डाउनलोड जाना So we'll start. What is our today's topic? Huh? Don't look towards screen. Huh? Under self-excellence, what is today's topic?
Substance and shadow.
Substance and shadow. Means we are going to see or read something about physics. What do you think? Huh? Substance and shadow. Hey, where's our poster? The poster कहाँ है?
सब मैंने भेजा था डाउनलोड
उसमें दिख नहीं रहा है. कहाँ गया?
मैंने डाउनलोड नहीं किया क्या सर
डाउनलोड किया
मैं भेजता हूँ 1 मिनट वापस भेजता हूँ
Okay, anyway, leave it.
जैसे से
Leave it, leave it. I thought to put the poster which you all received for this session. But anyway, we'll get the idea through this also. Yes, so today's topic is substance and shadow. So like in our daily life, day-to-day life, we see so many objects. Wherever we go, we see some, not some, so many objects. And in relation with that object, what we see? Shadow. In presence of light or in absence of light? Huh? In presence of light. So we see so many objects. So, like we understand, when light is there on the surface of the object, we see the object. Otherwise, when there is darkness in dark room, we don't see anything. Even we cannot see our own hands or our own body. What to speak of seeing other objects. And then of course, yes, shadow. So what is shadow actually? Light is focusing upon the surface of the object, on the object. And what is shadow? Huh? Yes, who said? Yeah, absence of light in a specific area with respect to the object, that is shadow. You got my point? So substance and shadow. So we are not going to see any physics theory and all. Of course, it's our spiritual seminar. So we'll try to understand the nature of this material world, and then end of this session we'll understand this material existence, this material world is a shadow or substance or subject, object itself. We'll see that. So we'll start with one shloka of Bhagavad Gita. Does anyone know Sanskrit? How to read Sanskrit? Who can read? New one. Those who are in pant shirt. Among them, who will read? No one can read. Alright, just try. Who will try? No one will try. Okay, in English? Aishwarya? Yeah, you can read. No need to repeat, just recite. Shakham. Thank you. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakham Ashwatham Prahur Avyayam Chandamsi Yasya Paranani Yastam Vedasa Vedavit. So how translation goes? The Supreme Personality of Godhead.
It's got disconnected. Yeah, disconnected.
So we have some online participants also. So that got disconnected. So is trying to connect it. So in our school, college, we go and we get some material knowledge. We get knowledge with respect to money. Pay money and later on you earn money. That's it. So that much knowledge only we get to make our livelihood. But other knowledge also required. Knowledge about the nature of this world, knowledge about our body, and of course knowledge about spirit, soul. What is the difference between the body and the soul? So as soon as we talk about spirit, so that knowledge is spiritual knowledge. So we see nowadays so many so-called spiritual organizations are there. They say we are a spiritual organization, but they don't talk about the spirit. Other thing else they talk, they can go on like hours and hours, but they miss out what? The spirit. The main substance, we can say, in our today's topic relation. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. You will see some picture, you will get the idea. You can see the banyan tree. What we call in Hindi? Bhargat. What vriksha? Banyan tree. So according to shloka, what is mentioned? Urdhva moolam adha shaka. Urdhva means upwards. Mool means roots. So urdhva moolam adho shaka. Shaka means branches. Adha means downwards. Urdhva moolam adho shaka. So what we experience when we see a tree, what we experience? Roots are downwards under the ground and branches are upwards towards sky. But what this shloka says, urdhva moolam adho shaka. So when we see that, when we experience that picture of a tree, that roots are upwards and branches are downwards. Look towards the picture. When we experience that, Sorry? In front of river or? Yes, reflection. On the water surface, what we see? On the bank of the river, suppose one banyan tree is there or nearby, pond or lake. So in the water, on the water surface, what we see? The reflection.
I didn't understand that.
Who's there? Yeah. So on that water surface, what we see? On the water, The same thing what we are hearing in this shloka. Urdhva moolam adho shakha. Roots are upwards and branches are downwards. So that is also like reflection, but this reflection is not actual original reflection. What we call it? Okay, shadow. But in shadow also we see, like suppose our today's poster. Like this. Here is the object and the back side is the shadow. What is there? It appears there is an elephant shadow. But what is actual object? Something else. Another idea you can see. You can get another idea. Huh? One more. So when we see shadow reflection which is not as per the object, so when we call it perverted reflection. Are you agree with me? You know the meaning of perverted? Perverted or distorted, huh? Or deviated. So here in this shloka, Lord Krishna is talking about this material world. So this reflection, this perverted reflection is what? Is material world. And the actual object is what? Spiritual world. You got my point? According to this shloka, this material world is the perverted reflection of the spiritual world. So perverted means what is there in actuality that we cannot experience in the perverted form. You got my point? How to understand? Here we see we have some contamination in our heart. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, pride and ignorance. So that we see. Are you agree with me? Who is free from any one of these or all these six? No one is free. Huh? So what we see here, lust, what we call lust, which is perverted form. But in actuality, in spiritual, what is that? That is love. But what we call over here in the material world, that love towards opposite sex, that is not love. That is lust. Means we need some sense gratification. That's it. For that, I need that. So not only towards opposite sex, whatever you need badly, and you are ready to do anything for that particular thing, that is lust. And enviousness, you want something and someone else gets that, then you'll become envious. And at the same time, when your lust is not fulfilled, you'll become angry. Krishna only says in Bhagavad Gita, Kama esha, Krodha esha, Rajo guna samudbha. Because of mode of passion, we have so many kam, means desires. When desire does not get fulfilled, yes, anger arises. Krodhat bhavni. What is the shloka? No. From lust, what comes? Anger. I forgot that beginning. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. That is another one. Yes. So when krodha comes, then krodha. So krodhat bhavati sammoha. When we become bewildered, what to do, what not to do. So anyway, this is different topic. So in spiritual world, that love is there. Love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But here in material world, we have no idea about that. Because we are full of contamination. We are under the influence of material modes of nature. Are you aware of this term? Material modes of nature, mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Mode of goodness means? Sattvic means what? The person who is situated in knowledge. He does not react, he responds. So there is a difference between react and respond. And the person who is so ambitious, he is so ambitious that he is not aware, he does not think about the consequence. He is in mode of passion. And ignorance means an ignorant person, means one who ignores the knowledge, or like who is in ajnana, ni science. So these three modes. So everyone is under the control of these three modes. Someone is in more ignorance, someone is in more passion, and very less are in mode of goodness. Even we ourselves see very less, few times, few moments we are in mode of goodness. Otherwise we are in passion and ignorance. Something bad happened, immediately we start lamenting. So that is the sign of ignorance. Because the person who is in goodness, he knows this is the nature of this material world. Everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. So he is situated in knowledge, and accordingly he responds. So he does not lament. So when I was in school, there is one like in Sanskrit subject, one chapter was there, Subhashitani. You must be heard. So in that there is one shloka. It goes like Gate shoko na kartavyo bhavishyam naiva chintayet. That means one who does not lament on past, bhavishyam naiva chintayet. We are so anxious about our future. There is another shloka in Vedic scriptures that the cause of fear. What is the cause of fear? Adrishya bhaya karanam. You got my point? Adrishya bhaya karanam. Adrishya means which is not seen. Bhaya karanam. That is the cause of fear. So our future, we don't see. We cannot see. That's why we are so fearful, so anxious about our future. We are so anxious that we forget to live in present. Otherwise we are so much into past. We are so much into past. अरे ये ऐसा हो गया, वो वैसा हो गया, ऐसे ही होना था, मेरी किस्मत ही फूटी है. So much lamentation. Otherwise future, उसमें कैसा होगा, वो कैसा होगा. So much anxiety. Why? Adrashya. Because we are not in mode of goodness. We don't have any knowledge. We have only this one knowledge. Go to school and be always on top, and then only will get good job, good salary. That is the only way to get happiness or to become happy. That's it. So that is like what that chariot tanga. So they put some blinders or what we call on the eyes of horse. So that horse cannot see, hear, and only just. So that also we are like, our position is like same as horse only. We just look one side. It is the only way. That is the only way. No. So from scriptures we get this idea. We are just looking to maintain the body. But what is the source or force behind the body? What is the force? No one knows. Soul, Atma. At least we are so fortunate. We born in India. So we have some idea or some clue is there. Yes, soul is there. That is another point that no one is talking about soul. When the founder Acharya of ISKCON, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he went to Oxford University Everyone knows Oxford University, very famous university. So many scholars are there. So many scholar professors are there. Erudite professors are there. So Prabhupada asked, you have so many departments, so many fields are there, so many subjects to understand in your university. So many departments are there, but where is the department of soul? And all the professors, they were speechless. They were not having any single, word to say. And same thing is going on here in the name of education. Education means what? Education means what? Just to get the mark sheet with good ranks or the grades. That's it, isn't it? That's it. That is our meaning only education in present scenario or current scenario. Are you agree with me or not? That's what's going on. Then if that is not there, with high rank or good rank is not there on the report card, then someone will lament and then he will commit suicide or he will start all these bad habits. That's it. So that is not education. That is not education. Even few days back of last 1 month or 2 months, so our Honorable Prime Minister, he also made one statement. It came on news also, newspaper, not on news, in newspaper it came, that he says these Britishers, they gave such kind of system so that they can get the slave. You know the meaning of slave? What? Gulam or das or नौकर. नौकर जो नौकरी करे वो. So what is our goal of life? What is our goal of education? To become नौकर. सर्वेंट भी थोड़ा ठीक लगता है, बट व्हेन यू कॉल नौकर, अरे इमीडिएटली ईगो को हट होता है, अरे ऐसे कैसे बोल दे रहे हो आप. Isn't it? कोई चले जाएगा ह्यूमन राइट्स में, मुझे नौकर बोल दिया. But it's a fact. It's fact only. So that is not the purpose of education. That is not actual education. Education means both knowledge should be there. Material knowledge as well as spiritual knowledge. Then you can, make some balance. Or you can decide at least priority. But in ignorance, we ignore everything. In the name of, they say, you have blind faith. Just for that word, you ignore all this, actual knowledge actually. We ignore spiritual knowledge. We neglect. So in the name of science, they say blind faith. But if you see science also, they are also, we can call it, they also believe on blind faith. No one has seen electron. No one has seen. After doing PhD or after PhD, 10, 12 years of research, they understand the movement or the effect of electron, but no one has seen the electron. And whole science is based on that only, electron. No one has seen. So we can also call that is also blind faith. Like when we say soul or super soul or supreme God, supreme controller, so what they say? Blind. No one has seen. We can also claim no one has seen electron yet. But no, we are not fool like them. We know something we can perceive directly through eyes, something we experience. Suppose air. See, air also we can experience. Feelings. Okay, all of you are living or dead? Living? Who can prove me that I am not robot, I am a living entity, living person? Who can prove? Someone can prove? You can tell me your experience about happiness or distress, but you cannot make me feel same thing. Is it possible? Huh? Like they claim, robots. So they have some program, some system. Like supercomputer. Supercomputer can, count something in billions in a second. Again, system is there. So if you put value, some numeric value in a computer, so then that can tell you the result plus addition or subtraction or multiplication, or which is greater, which is lesser. But if you put in a computer A is equal to B and B is equal to C, so A is equal to C, what answer will come from the computer? Huh? Anyone else would like to answer? Any guess? See, computer works on 1, 0, yes, got it? So A, B, he does not know. He will, that system will got corrupted. No answer will come out. A is equal to B, B is equal to C. Then we can easily say by our intuition, then A is equal to C is correct. But computer will not tell you. Computer will not tell you. So that intuition, from where it comes? Huh? So we cannot prove the existence I am living. You can experience your emotion, but you cannot make other feel the same. You got my point? So it's not again science class. We'll come to our topic. The point is that what education, in the name of education, what knowledge we are getting just to become slave. So rightly said by Honorable Prime Minister that Britishers, they made system in that way so that they can get the slave for their work. Okay, they are gone, but still we are doing. We have lost our Vedic culture. And someone is believing, then some kind of movies are coming in that way. They are making, joke. You all are Maharashtrian, maximum. Then now this Ganpati is going on. They worship, they call we worship. But they are not worshipping. Don't take personally, but you try to understand from the level of knowledge. They are just, very loudly they are making this, they are playing all filmy songs. What kind of worshipping you are doing? They make the murti of Ganesha in like Michael Jackson style, or having bat in his hand. Is it worshipping? So they themselves make a joke of their own culture, and then they are ashamed in front of others. Whose fault is this? Then, so in whole system, education system, this important knowledge is lacking. So yes, so wherever we, this image, material world and spiritual world. So material world is perverted form, perfect perverted reflection in which we are contaminated with this lust, anger, greed, pride, illusion. So because of the fault of our education system, we ignore this knowledge. So it is also important. So we'll see one more text, shloka from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text number 24. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyante mama abuddhayah param bhavama jananto mama avyayam anuttamam. How translation goes? Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed his personality, this personality, Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. So Lord Krishna, he, in the very beginning, he says, unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly. So to understand this spiritual subject matter, what we need? We need a higher intellectual level. But what we think, अरे भगवद गीता है तो ऐसे ही मार्केट में मिल जाती है, मैं ऐसे ही पढ़ लूँगा. तो like in yesterday session or 2 days back, I was mentioning that knowing language is different and the knowledge of subject matter is different. You may read in English, okay, you will get some idea also, but to understand in a proper way, what is required? The knowledge of the subject also is required. Not only just in English it's there, so I'll read. No. So Krishna says, unintelligent men who do not me perfectly, that as Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna was impersonal before. So here is another aspect. People, they say God is impersonal, or they say it like God is a light. You know this term? Impersonal means formless. There is no form of God. Not only Allah, so many different aspects are there, not only just one. So the meaning of, like he mentioned Allah, so like the meaning of Allah is Almighty. So there is one characteristic of God is Almighty. Anyway, so the people, they are in wrong conception. So again, like as I mentioned, perverted form. So they don't know the actual truth. Suppose here we can see light. So light in this hall. But from where light is coming? Some source is there. And that source is also having some form. It is not formless. So here that's why it is mentioned. They think that God is impersonal. But in Bible you will find it is mentioned God made men in his own form. People they say they think we have form, so because of we are having this conception of having body or form, we also give this form to Lord, but he is impersonal. So in like as I started with this thing, we see so many objects. Objects means they have some form. So whatever we experience, living entities, everywhere we see some particular form is there. So then how can be God is formless? Because he is giving form and he is formless. Who is giving form? He himself is formless. Is it possible? Not at all. In Bible it is mentioned. I am not quoting any Sanatana scripture, Vedic scripture. No, in Bible it is mentioned. And one senior devotee, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, the founder of ISKCON, his disciple from German, Prithu Prabhu. His name is Prithu Das. So he is from Christian background, and he was telling that his friend, his school friend, so his school friend's uncle was in there, that Rome. In Rome, which place is that? Where they have main Pope and yes, Vatican City. So his uncle was there in that church, and he was on the higher position, higher post. So on the basement, in the basement of the church, there is a big library is there where Old Testaments are there. All Old Testaments of Bible. So they have changed so many times. So they have removed this concept also, concept of rebirth or reincarnation. But in India we have all this idea we have. Because for soul there is no death, no birth, no old age, no disease. What is there then? Then Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, in very beginning, second chapter, Dehi no asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yovanam yada. Like in this body we experience changes from childhood to boyhood, then youth, then procreation, then we get old and then we died. So we experience the changes in same body. Similarly, what is death? What is death? The change of body. Simple. Another thing, what you get, what you deserve, you will get. So according to your karma, what you deserve, if you deserve human body again, you will get human body. If you are involved, you are indulged in sinful activities like intoxication, meat eating or illicit sex or gambling, then you will get that kind of body. That is through nature. Someone will see that nature is working so perfectly without any controller. So they see, someone says like nature is supreme, but again Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Maya dakshena prakritihi suyate sa characharam. This nature is working so nicely under my direction. That means some controller is there. So we also control something in some extent. So without any form, how can someone control? Or without any power, how can someone control? Then power is there. So without any form, how someone can possess power? Then when we talk about power, that means someone there who possesses the power. Or we talk about energy, someone should be there who possesses the energy, who controls the energy. Like we have ACs running in our this hall. So we have some regulator to control the temperature. Isn't it? So okay, although it's electric energy transferred into mechanical energy in heat or cold we can transfer, or in different ways we can use it. So someone is controlling, so some supreme controller should be there. And Krishna says, I am the controller. He is claiming. So from scriptures we get the proper idea about the substance, about the main substance. Substance means, so in Shastra, in Vedic scriptures, you will find the term absolute used for the supreme person, the supreme controller. You can say God or Krishna or Ram. So what is the meaning of absolute? We see one is absolute plane and another is relative, or you can say absolute truth or relative truth. So relative truth is not independent. You got my point? Relative truth is not independent, but absolute truth is independent and always complete. You will find in Ishopanishad, Om Purnamada Purnamidam, means that person is always complete. So in relative platform we see 1 minus 1, 0, 1 plus 1, 2, like that. But on absolute plane, 1 minus 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 1. He is always Purna. So that is applicable only for the Supreme God. He is always complete. He is always complete. So someone who is complete, how he can be formless? You say he is formless, that means you are putting some limitation. But he is always complete and independent. Sorry, so I mentioned relative truth is dependent and absolute truth is independent. So in Bhagavatam, first shloka it is mentioned, one word is there, Swarat. The Supreme Person is Abhigya and Swarat. Swarat means fully independent. And Abhigya means who knows everything. In Bhagavad Gita again, he claimed this thing in front of Arjuna. Vedaham samatitani. Ved means knowing. So Krishna says, I know everything, past, future and present. He told to Arjuna that in past we took so many births. You also took so many births, but you have forgotten. But I remember. This is the difference between the living entity and God. God knows everything. Someone nowadays, some people, they claim themselves incarnation of God. So when Krishna appeared in front of his mother, father, Devaki and Vasudeva, he mentioned their parents' last 3 births, 3 lives. Someone who claims, ask, go there and ask them, okay, you tell about your life, past life, few past life of your parents. So he is complete and he is independent, he is Swarat, he is Abhigya, he is independent, he knows everything. So in that way we can understand the Supreme Person who is absolute truth, and other things are in relation with that absolute truth. How can we understand? So again from Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo. I am the origin of everything. So everything is coming from Krishna. So he is absolute and all other things are relative, dependent on Krishna. So in Brahma Samhita recited by Lord Brahma in glorification of Krishna. So just a minute. Text 9. Just a minute. So Lord Brahma, who is the first living entity of this universe, he says, Ekopyasav rachayitum jagadanda kotim yaschakti rasti jagadanda chaya yadantah andantarastha paramanu chayantarastam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. So what does he say? He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. in his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore. So Lord Brahma says, I worship that Govinda, who is there present in each and every single atom, as Paramatma, as a super soul. So if we go through science, whatever object is there, science comes to that fundamental term, that fundamental, like they break everything into neutron, proton, electron, like that. So atom means the smallest part, and in that Brahmaji is saying that you are there in and every atom. So in this way we can understand that everything is dependent on him, because he is there in and every atom. That's why this material world is working. Like in our body, soul is there, or like in a car, some driver is there. So any machine you see, someone is there to make it work or move. So Krishna says, I enter into each and every atom. So from Bhagavatam we understand, so like there is Mahavishnu, from whose bodies these different innumerable universes are coming out when he exhales, and then again he enters into each and every universe as a Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, and again then from Garbhodakshayi Vishnu that flower comes from his navel, and then Brahma appeared on that, and then Brahma did he does creation. So he does secondary creation, but primary creation is coming out from Krishna, who is independent. So he is absolute, and then other things are relative. So everything is relation with Krishna. So when we see everything is in relation with Krishna, that is absolute. Otherwise, incomplete or relative. So basically incomplete. So like scientists, they try to understand the phenomena of this universe or these beautiful working system of nature by their own understanding, independent of Vedic scriptures or Shastras. Or basically Shastras are given by Krishna, who is complete, who is absolute. Another meaning of absolute is apaurushaya, means free from defects. He is free from defects, but human beings are not free from defects. 4 defects are there. We have imperfect senses, we are in illusion, we commit mistakes, and to cover that mistakes, what we do? We cheat. The same way scientists also, they are not free from defects. So like we see, you can also find on this Google so many cases of rebirth or reincarnation, but this modern science or like medical science, they keep aside. Not all, but yes, mostly they keep. They don't talk about. They don't talk. They say it's not our cup of tea. So many cases are there. So you search that. So when we use science, similarly, Prabhupada, he told to one of his disciples, I forgot the name, T.D. Singh, Bhakti Swarupa Damodar Swami. His material name is, legal name was T.D. Singh, and he was a big scientist, great scientist. And then Prabhupada told him to use this science. You use this science to prove the existence of God, then you will get great success. See, now the modern science, they cannot prove that there is no God. You can challenge any one of the scientists. They cannot prove there is no God. But when we use this science to prove the existence of God, you will get the success. So many cases are there, so many phenomena are there to understand the Existence of God. Like I gave the example of emotions. So with that in that we can understand the presence of soul. So like that we can understand. So here Lord Brahma is telling that Lord Krishna as a super soul enters into each in every atom. He enters. That's why it works. Not only in our body, soul is there. Again, Krishna as a super soul enters in our heart also. So soul is there, the real self, we. I am is there again. With me, who is there? As a Paramatma, Lord Krishna is there. Who witnesses what I am doing. So if you see, I am in the closed room, no one is watching me. Who is there very close to you? As a Paramatma, he is there. He is there. Because in Bhagavad Gita only he says, Sarvasya chaham radhe sannivishto, I am there in everyone's heart. Mattaha smriti jnanam apohanam cha. From me remembrance comes. From me forgetfulness comes. Suppose you are so disturbed, so anxious, you cannot sleep. Have you experienced that? Yes. We cannot sleep. When we forget that, then only we can get a nice sleep. Who is there? Who is helping us to forget that? Huh? Yes. So there is one experiment did by the scientist of, I think, IBM. IBM everyone knows. Huh? So they brought one question in the last. So they brought one supercomputer, not supercomputer, but we can say so advanced computer, and one chess player, champion of chess. I forgot the name. So that computer was able to calculate something hundreds of calculation in a second, and we know the limitation of normal human. Okay, if he is a chess champion, he can say, okay, he is 5 times, he can think 5 times more than an ordinary people. So one match computer won, another match computer won, like that something 9 or 10 match computer won. One match, this champion of chess, he won. Other matches again computer won. So that doesn't matter. But one match, how could a person could won? When computer is so fast, so capable with all this AI. What is AI? Artificial intelligence. How could that person could won one match, single match? Why? Intuition, which is not there in the computer. Are you getting my point? Just I am telling that soul is there, and Krishna is also there, the super soul who helps us, who gives intelligence, who gives us remembrance, forgetfulness. So many ideas we can get from the scriptures to understand. When we get the knowledge, then we can experience. First get the knowledge. From where we can get the knowledge? There is no any university. So it's our own duty. That's why one who does not put his effort to understand Shastra or to read Shastra, Shastra says he is Atmaha. Atmaha means killer of his own soul. Means he is committing suicide. Because human form of life is not for just like spend your life like hogs and dogs, just eating, sleeping, having sex, and that's it. Some defense, and that's it. And you die. And scientists or modern medical, they accept death is a truth, ultimate truth. But inevitable. But from scriptures we get the idea of immortality. Because for soul there is no death. Again in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9th, text number 11. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanu mashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. So those who are not having that high intellectual level, they deny, they don't accept the existence of God. Or when he comes, so they say he is superhuman or he is some mystic yogi or like that. But they don't know that he is the supreme person. He is not limited. He is beyond the limit. Because he is Swarat. He can do anything. So you cannot, bind him in some limitations. So, means he is the main substance who is absolute and others are relative. It's like when I say water. So water is relative term. As soon as I say water, water is not here with me. I have to go to there when water is there, like filter is there or something is there. So when I say water is relative, but Krishna is absolute. So as soon as I say Krishna, immediately Krishna is present. The point is that I am not able to perceive. That is another point. But he is absolute. Because absolute means there is no difference between his name or he himself or his form or his qualities or his pastimes or Bhagavad Gita, his own words spoken by Krishna. So that is the meaning of absolute. So when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, immediately we are associating with Krishna because he is on absolute plane. So when we see some iron, we put iron rod into the fire. After some time, what will happen? That same iron will act like fire only. Red hot iron will act like fire only because he is in the association of. Similarly, the living entity who is part and parcel of Krishna is in association of Krishna by chanting, by taking darshan or by reading Bhagavad Gita or by hearing about him. He'll get his association and will become purified from this lust, anger, greed, illusion. What illusion we have? We think we are in so many illusions, like we think I am the enjoyer. Without in relation with Krishna, I think I am the enjoyer. But when I get the perfect knowledge that Lord is the enjoyer, suppose a servant, suppose someone is working, so he goes to his boss office and he himself sat on the chair. Yes, I am the boss. And boss comes. He will be no longer servant also. He will lose his identity. Isn't it? So similarly, if we claim I am the enjoyer without knowing or without having that perfect knowledge from the scriptures, I think I am the enjoyer and I try to enjoy. What I will get? I get some happiness, but temporary, flickering happiness I get. Otherwise, no one tries to become distressed और नो वन ट्राइज टू सफ़र कि चलो आज थोड़ा सा जो है अपने आप को कुछ कष्ट लेके देखते हैं. हाँ, नो वन ट्राइज बट स्टिल वी गेट distress. We put our all efforts to get happiness. That we get very little, otherwise what we get? Why? Because we are in this illusion, we are in wrong comparison. I am the enjoyer. Lord Krishna says, Bhokta Ram Yajna Tapasam, I am the enjoyer. And he says, I am the controller of the universe, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. And then he says, next, Suridham Sarva Bhutanam, I am the well-wisher of all living entities. So basic need who is providing? You cannot create or develop food grains in the laboratory. Is it possible? One single blade of grass you cannot create. So what we need to fulfill our this hunger, to satisfy our hunger, what we need? Food grains. You cannot just eat all these nut bolts or machines or whatever to fulfill your hunger. You got my point? Suppose we take sometimes snacks we get, but just that is for also sake. That is for also taste. But actual when we get dal, roti, chawal, or then only we get satisfied or we feel some energy. Who is providing that? Who is providing? Yes. So he has made all the arrangements. But we are in wrong impression. So without relationship with Krishna we are trying to enjoy and we suffer. So who is the absolute or who is the substance? He is the only substance or spiritual world, because he is the spiritual world is his own abode where he resides. And in Bhagavad Gita he only says that na tad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakah. In spiritual world there is no need for any need for sun or moon. Are you getting my point? Means self-illuminated abode is there. Here we see sun, and without sun we cannot see anything. Our own self we cannot see. So what to speak of seeing others? Similarly, how we can understand Krishna? So in scripture it is mentioned, Krishna Surya Sama Mayar Andhakar. So Krishna is like sun. Sun means light, or we can understand light means knowledge. What is there? Astoma Sadgamaya Tamsoma Jyotirgamaya and Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. So Asatoma Satgamaya. So what is Asat? What is not truth? So please let me or take me towards Sat. Sat means truth. What is absolute truth? This is the meaning of this. So what is Asat? Means temporary, and Sat means eternal. And as a soul we are eternal, but this material world is temporary. That means this place is not for us. So go back to spiritual world, which is Sat, which is eternal, everlasting, where you can get everlasting happiness. Then Tamsoma Jyotirgamaya. Tamas means darkness. So from darkness to light. So we can understand light means not only light is this prakash. Light means knowledge. Tamas means nescience. So from nescience to knowledge. So Krishna Surya Sama. So Lord Krishna, God is like sun who gives us the light, the knowledge, the right knowledge. Mame Vamsho Jiva Loke. He is telling all living entities are my part and parcel. So like I am the part and parcel of my father. So what is my duty towards my father? To serve him, not just because of fear or as a matter of duty. Why? Beyond that, what is there? That love is there. I have that love for my father. So I will serve in any circumstance. At the same time, father will reciprocate. Father also having that love for me. So similarly, Krishna is Supreme Father. He says, Aham Sarva Nahi. Aham Bija Pradah Pita. I am the seed giving father. So he reciprocates. How he reciprocates? Someone worship him or doesn't worship him, he provides all the basic needs. He cannot be like that, you are not worshipping, you will not get food grains. No. Then someone will ask, Then why so many beggars are there? But beggars are there outside the temple. Who is stopping them to come inside the temple? Someone is stopped? Why they are there? Because they want to remain in that situation, in ignorant or in tamas only. They also come and they take darshan. We all are here, we take darshan, and what we get? Prasad we get. But they want to be in that situation because they want money, and what with that money what they will do? Sense gratification means sinful activity they only commit. Meat eating or in women and all this stuff they will do. If you go and feed them, they will say, give me money. I have experienced this. Because when we travel, we devotees we travel na, so we keep eatables with us to give them. So they don't take. So they say, no, give me money. Because we know what they will do. So there is their ignorance. They can also come, they take bath and come inside. Who's stopping them? Who is stopping them? No one. But they themselves want to be in that situation. Whose fault is this? Whose fault is this? Arrangements are there for everyone. Ants and elephants, they don't go for school, college or job. They get their quota and eat like some particle of some food grain, and elephant quintals he eat every day. So like that he is maintaining everyone. So we are in ignorance. That's why tamso ma jyotirgamaya. So he gives the knowledge, but we are not able to take it. Whose fault? That's our fault. We have that higher consciousness to understand this knowledge, but still we are in ignorance. We are not aware. And then mrityorma amritam gamaya. That means talking about soul. For soul there is no death. Amritam means no death. It's there, not here. In material world we experience everyone is dying. But in spiritual world, it's there. And Lord Krishna also talks about that world, spiritual world. Then I will take 5 to 7 more minutes. So Krishna says, Rite artham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tat vidyadatmano mayam yatha bhaso yatha tamaha. What appears to be truth without me is certainly my illusory energy. It's his own energy. We see this nature is working without God so nicely. But he says, what appears to be truth. For nothing can exist without me, because he enters into in and every atom. We saw from Brahma Samhita. It is like a reflection of a real light in the shadows. For in the light there are neither shadows nor reflection. So like he mentioned, what is shadow? Absence of light. So what is Maya? Maya means which is not. So absence of knowledge or absence of Krishna is Maya, means suffering. So what is actual substance? The supreme controller, the God, who is absolute, who is apaurushya, free from all defects. So when we are in light, there is no darkness. So darkness itself also not independent. Darkness dependent on light. What is darkness? Absence of light is darkness. So when we are with Krishna through scriptures, through his name, like we chant every day, we can associate with Krishna. And Krishna is the only object or substance who is absolute. Others are relative. So he is the only absolute truth and others are relative truth in relationship to Krishna. If without relationship with Krishna we try to understand, we will not get the success, because Krishna says it's my illusory energy. Will get allured, will not go to Krishna. Suppose like scientists, they say we go to moon or Mars or different planets. So it appears like in Srimad Bhagavatam it is mentioned the position of moon. So moon is 1 lakh yojan beyond the sun. So first sun will come, then moon will come, according to scriptures. Or other thing we say, some experiment they were trying to do, they concluded some God particle. What is that experiment? Huh? Yes. So then now it's stopped. So they are, yes. So they are large. Yes. So now where are they? Where are they? But again, if you use science or all these technologies to understand God, to prove the existence of God, you will get the success. Why? Because He is there in everyone's heart. He will guide you. Because He only says in Bhagavad Gita only, Chaitanya, just a minute. Yeah, in chapter 15 only Krishna says, when he is explaining about this Urdhva Mula Madho Shakha. He says, therefore one must seek that place from which having gone, one never returns, and there surrender to that Supreme Personality of Godhead from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial. So that is the goal of human form of life, to understand God, and so that we can surrender to Him. And then we can get the highest, goal, that place from where we can get eternal happiness, everlasting happiness, without any suffering. So He is the actual substance. He is the main object of worship. So that's it. Any question?
जैसे आप कह रहे थे कि ये जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है, ये और जो कंप्यूटर है, सारे जो साइंस अभी जो हो रहे हैं, ये भी तो एक तरह से कृष्ण के ही मतलब पार्ट ऑफ द प्लान है, कि मतलब कि सब आने वाले वक्त में ऐसे ऐसे होंगे.
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. सी माया मीन्स व्हाट? ऐसा रेड मैंने पढ़ा था अभी. भगवान कहते हैं इट्स माई इल्यूजरी एनर्जी. तो माई इज ऑल्सो कृष्णाज एनर्जी, दैट इज एक्सटर्नल पोटेंसी, बिकॉज ही सेज नथिंग बियॉन्ड हिम, सो दैट इज ऑल्सो कमिंग फ्रॉम हिम. सो द पॉइंट इज दैट इमेज इज देयर, यू कैन सी. जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड, try to understand, this is upper side is spiritual world, and below is material world. Or temporary. Material means temporary. So
what is our form in this material world?
in material world,
In spiritual world.
what is our form? Like is in Bible it is mentioned, same like as God. What is His form? His form is transcendental. Sat Chit Anand is not material form which deteriorates, which is not temporary.
Why we are coming here? Because of
Yeah, it's there desire.
enjoying material.
Yeah, it's there the desire. That's why I am telling you. Desire. So because of desire, we want to enjoy separately. Krishna facilitated.
Soul didn't have any desire because.
Yes, how you can say that? On what basis you are telling that ki soul does not have any desire? Do you have any proof or anything from you are quoting this? Yes, you are thinking. This is called speculation. What scientists they do? They speculate. So soul cannot be desireless as a living entity, they are not desireless.
Soul is mind.
Huh?
Soul is mind also. Mind is also thinking and also desiring and
But here in material world, mind is contaminated under the influence of material modes. We think in that way. But once we get purified, then what will happen? You will desire, but you will desire to serve. To serve whom? The Supreme Controller. That serving propensity is there, and you have a small free will, very little free will you have, that you can desire. And then as a Paramatma, as a Father, He provides all the facilities to fulfill that desire. You want to go away from Him, okay? You want to go to Him, He will provide that facility.
in spiritual world, our face like this or other things or something. मतलब कि
Yeah.
दो हाथ
So there is another problem. We are in material world, and everything we try to understand in same concept. Are you getting my point? Huh? We try to understand everything in our aspect, so in our concept. It should be like that only. But it is not like that. We have not experienced anything Sachit Ananda because we are limited, we are conditioned. So we cannot imagine how it could be like there. But yes, we get the idea in the scriptures about the spiritual world, that is, there is no need of sun and moon. Then in Brahma Samhita only Brahmaji says, Goloka Dhamni, let Lord, that Supreme Controller stays in Golok, in spiritual world. How is he? He is having flute in his hand, means two-handed form, having flute. Barhavatam Samasitam Ambuda Sundarangam. His form is very beautiful, having peacock feather on his head. Everything is mentioned. So from this we get the idea. But when that's why I mentioned that it is the difference between living entity and Krishna. We forget because we change body. When we change the body, we forget. So here in material world, we are getting different bodies according to our karma, according to our action, according to our desire to enjoy. So we keep on changing our body. That's why we forget. So then someone will say, then why is it not that we remember everything? Suppose something bad happened to you. And your favorite dish is there in front of you. Will you be able to enjoy? You are in that mood only. Something bad happened to you, you are contemplating continuously. You can enjoy that. So in past, whatever happens to you, bad or good, all past lives impressions comes into your mind, remembrance. What will happen? Will not able to survive. Suppose in past something bad happened to us in this life, and we remember that. What happens? We become morose, isn't it? And someone says something in that point, then we get frustrated or we become angry. So all past life memory you have, memories, then what will you do? So again Krishna's mercy that he make you forgetful.
It is mercy, or I think it is ये हमारे
What you think doesn't matter. What he said, that matters. I may think anything else.
अगर हमें याद रहता तो हम तुरंत बोलते भगवान से हमको सरेंडर करना है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे हमने देख लिया और हमें याद भी आता रहता है कि हाँ मुझे आई रिमेम्बर कि हाँ कि इतना सब कुछ मैंने गलती की है, मुझे सरेंडर कर देना चाहिए। फिर भी हम बार बार गलती करते हैं
हाँ, तो ये चीज़ अर्जुन ने पूछी कृष्ण से भगवत गीता में कि भगवान ऐसा क्यों है कि न चाहते हुए भी मैं क्यों पाप करता हूँ, क्यों मैं सिन करता हूँ, क्यों? बिकॉज सोच लिया ऐसा, लेकिन जो हमारी टेंडेंसी है, प्रवृत्ति जो है, कॉन्शियसनेस जो है, उसको हमको प्यूरिफाई करना है। वो क्यों इतना वो कंटिमेट हो गई है? क्योंकि काफ़ी समय से हम यहाँ पर हैं और वही चीज़ कर रहे हैं, ईटिंग, स्लीपिंग, मैटिंग एंड डिफेंस, बस वही करते हम, हैबिचुअल उसकी हो गए, तो उसको हमको प्यूरिफाई करना है। तो आप एक दिन सोच लोगे ऐसा, और ऐसा हो भी जाएगा, लेकिन जैसे यहाँ से बाहर जाएंगे, अगेन वी आर इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय मटेरियल मोड्स. We meet with people having different level of consciousness, and then accordingly we are influenced. आप 5 दिन किसी जो है दारू पीने वाले के साथ बैठिए, क्या होगा? ठीक, मैं जस्ट एग्जाम्पल, अरे मैं एग्जाम्पल दे रहा हूँ. अच्छी बात है, बट दैट इज नॉट द केस ना. हर कोई ऐसा भाग्यशाली नहीं है आपके जैसा. तो दैट्स व्हाई वी नीड एसोसिएशन. एज आई गेव द एग्जांपल ऑफ आयरन एंड फायर. सो वी आर लाइक आयरन. यस, हरे कृष्ण. Yes.
So anxiety, stress also comes from him, or he gives
Not anxiety or distress. That is the result of our action, which we did in past. Of course, again, like he is the origin, so he is the absolute cause, ultimate cause, who is providing all the facilities so that we can cut out our karma in the form of distress or miseries or sufferings, and then so that we can go ahead.
So basically he provides
What?
distress, anxiety.
Suppose in Mumbai there is a jail. Who provides? Huh? Then at the same time government provides all the facilities also, good facilities for good citizens. Or you can say, who is running government? Okay, Prime Minister. We will tell the Prime Minister is providing jail. That is not good. People are suffering over there inside the jail. Who is providing? He only. And another side, all good stuffs are provided by. You got my point? Everyone got this? So like that. Because yes, our tendency is there to commit sins. So that for that rectification, that is required. Like same father gives us every day all the requirements. On birthday he gives us gifts also, or some occasions he gives us gifts also. But when we do something for which we are not supposed to do, then what we get? We get punishment also. We get thappad also. Depends on the degree of our act. Sometimes thappad, sometimes belt or whatever. Why? He loves. So he cares for us. So we should not go on wrong track for that also. So that is what? Repentation, prayashchit. Suppose someone is there in the prison house, and then he is acting like behaving very good, and so what he get as a reward? Early release. He got my point. So he is helping also. Government is okay giving punishment, at the same time helping also. So punishment itself is the help. So we suffer, that is also help. Okay, reactions of the karma gone. Suppose who is a murderer, so what he gets as a punishment? To be hanged. Because for the soul there is no death, but to get free from that reaction of the killing, he will get that. This is according to Manu Samhita, and that is applicable in our countries and other countries also. So for that, this arrangement is there. But yeah, he has given us the intelligence also. You use your intelligence. Don't do bad. So what is right, what is wrong, from where we will get that? In Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned what is akarma, what is vikarma, what is sukarma. Good act, bad act, and something which will give you the spiritual benefit, which is akarma, means bhakti. Bhakti means not कि आप बाबा जी बन जाओ. It's not bhakti. You have to understand what is bhakti. Bhakti means serving. Serving whom? You are serving your nation, your state, your family, your friends, your spouse, your children. You are serving. Serving tendency is there. To whom we should serve? That we get the idea from Bhagavad Gita. That is bhakti. Bhaja sevaya iti bhakti. Bhakti means following the instruction. Bhakti means not only just you are sitting whole day in front of deities. It is also, it is highest level. But the thing is that you follow the instruction, whatever given in Bhagavad Gita, you follow to make your life happy. Okay? I think we should end up here, 8 o'clock. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming.